generation, which includes bee nests, which means you will be able to find bee nests on the trees, including this one, maybe? Okay, over here you can see, here is a bee nest on a tree, because you can find bee nests in existing worlds if they're in new chunks, because your existing chunks will never have bee nests in them, unless you move them there, but all chunks do that. So now we know, just explore new chunks, you'll know when they're new because they'll be treated slightly differently, or if you're not sure, about where new chunks are, just try to get as far as you physically can away from, like your old world, get hundreds or thousands of blocks from the furthest away thing you've explored. You'll know when you get far away because weird things start happening, but just again, get as far away as you humanly can. But yeah, the interesting thing is you want to look for flower forests mostly. Looking for plains biomes like this one will sometimes net you a single bee's nest, which might be great if you're willing to breed them, like we'll mention later. Like again, somewhere in this plains biome, oh look, we actually did find a bee's nest, which is useful for getting 1 to 3 bees. There is literally a single. Oh no, there's 2 bees here. Cute, it's pretty fair. And there's even another one over there. These are wonderful by themselves, but you want to look for flower forests. What is a flower forest? I mean, I think it's self-explanatory. When you see a lot of flowers, not just a few, flowers spawn in every flower forest. When you see like every 4th block on the ground covered in flowers, you'll know you're in the flower forest. And the reason you want to look specifically at these is because, as you can already see, there are lots more bees found here. And this isn't because, oh yeah, flower forests have a higher, percentage of bees spawning. No, it's still the 5% chance for every single tree. But as you can see, because there are so many more trees, because it literally is called a forest, you're going to find so many bees here. Also, it doesn't take much, look, as you can see, 3 bees nests next to each other over here. That is pretty astounding, I think, you'll find. If you want, I can give you guys a seed where you can spawn near a flower forest, if that's something you'd be interested in. But for now, just kind of keep it in mind that if you want to find bees, you find the flower forest. If you want to find the flower forest, follow the bees, I guess. But yeah, the reason that you want to find these biomes is not just because you get more bees, which is nice by itself, but it's also to do with the way you breed bees. Because here's the thing about bees, they won't just go out and look for flowers on the ground so they can pollinate them and so they can get honey back to the nest, which is wonderful, but also flowers work as the breeding material for bees. Give 2 bees some flowers each, they'll do a weird dance, and a baby bee will come out. This thing is ridiculously adorable. I do have to say though, the size of this miniature bee is still too big for a regular bee in Minecraft. Like, these things are ridiculously sized, right? They're Minecraft's cutest mob, they're adorable, they're ridiculous in every way, and yeah, it does like I said, if you can find them, that's a great thing. However, here's the deal, right? Just having bees is great, and walking them back to your house might be a viable solution, but if you have to travel thousands of blocks to find your nearest flower forest, and statistically some of you, I hate to break this to you, if you have an existing survival world you've explored a lot, you might have to walk thousands of blocks to find your nearest flower forest. You might not want to do this, and taking bees into the nether sounds like a recipe for disaster, so what can you do in this situation? And let me show you exactly that. But when you see bees going inside one of their bee nests, and because bees will always spawn next to a bee nest, this is a thing you'll see happen fairly often. Oh, as you can see, by the way, they've brought up a pollen back to the nest to make it a filled one, which won't affect our next step, which we're going to do as soon as we know there are bees in there, because in the time it took us to enchant our tools, obviously bees have left them in. So let's wait till they go back. Because just like that, we know there's a bee in that nest 100% now, and now we can use any silk touch tool to break the nest. You can use a pickaxe if you want to. The axe is the technical tool, but why would you have silk touch on an axe? I think that would make you pretty concerning. But yeah, if you do this, you'll be able to take the bee's nest around with you. It actually shows, okay, and if you do so, you're also going to upset bees because that's their nest. That's their home, you take in their dog. But yeah, you can now take this bee nest with you, and this makes bees a fairly unique item because it means that you can actually take them around just by putting them in block form. So yeah, taking this bee nest around with you will take whatever bee is inside there. It might be more than one, but we'll assume it's one bee, because now when we put this down, let's say inside our Minecraft base, which in today's example is going to be this hole in the ground, our Minecraft base, we put the bee nest down, what will actually be able to happen is the bee will be able to leave the nest. That's right, you might not have believed me just there, but there is in fact a bee leaving the nest now, and now we can be trapped inside your base, assuming your base, unlike mine, doesn't have windows. You can make bee farms using this technique because you don't just need to do bees that way, but also, yeah, that's a thing. So the other cool thing you can do with bees, because obviously the bees are now going to go back to pollinating the whole thing, is you can also use bees, bee nests to make bee hives. And the way you do this is by shearing the bee's hive once it's full, so that you get some honeycomb. And again, you upset bees when you do that. That's their home, you're messing with their dog. But yeah, basically, also when they sting you, they die eventually. So more reasons not to want to do it. But yeah, what you can actually do, interestingly enough to me, is you can take some of the honeycomb you just got. You can use a crafting table. You can functions, except because you can make more of them, you can store more bees. Because every bee's nest and beehives can store between 0 and 3 bees, there is now room for 15 times 3, 45 bees, plus these 6, I guess. So we can add another 18 to that 45, and now I'm making you do maths in a Minecraft video. Yeah, tricked you, but yeah, as you can see, they die when they sting you, so it's ideal not to let them, if not for your sake, then for theirs. And that's, I guess, like bees in real life, I would say too. Like, pro tip, bees die when they sting you. But on the other hand, bees shouldn't be stinging you, so now teach them a goddamn lesson. But yeah, so there you go, fun fact. Bees in Minecraft, they are found in the flower forests and the plains, the sunflower plains biomes. Look for one of these 3 biomes in Minecraft, you'll know the flower forest, it's the only forest covered in flowers. You'll know the plains biome because it's this flat, has this colored grass, and it's the only place where you can find cornflowers, I believe. They have very few trees in them, but they've got a chance of spawning with bee nests. And then also the sunflower plains. You know how you'll spot it? Do you know? You do know, right? You're fine. The sunflowers there. So yeah, also on my channel, I'm gonna be looking for a seed which has a flower forest, super close to spawn, just so if you want to find a bunch of bees, you can. That will be going up as soon as I do find the seed later today. Make sure that you go and watch that video because an update just came out, and that means a bunch of Toycat videos. For better or for worse, expect to see some more things like this in the future. Also, I mean, 15 bananas a day.
It's not diamonds.
It's just like I lost a bet. I promised I'd eat 15 bananas when 1.15 came out. 1.15 is out, and therefore I go eat some bananas. It's gonna be a whole thing. I'm gonna throw up. You can look forward to it if you watch my live stream, which you can see by subscribing with notifications turned on. Thank you.
Ah, diamonds, baby. Oh, je bent al eerder geweest volgens mij, of niet?
You choose to become a subscriber to the channel, or hopefully to not be unsubscribed because of my terrible puns, if nothing else. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, because I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Wie bepaalt of jij wel lekker bezig bent? Hoezo moet je altijd tot het einde gaan? In de sportschool? Met deze fit kun je toch ook thuis trainen? En wie zegt dat fitness geen teamsport is? Dat bepaal ik zelf, hè.
You're not going to believe what you'll be learning in this tutorial.
En volgens mij is het echt een skeleton spawnen, man.
Hey everybody, it's me Waddles and it is definitely that time. Today we're going to take a look at everything in the MineCraft 1.15 Buzzy Bee update. The Buzzy Bee update released yesterday, December 10th, 2019, and brought bees and many other things to Minecraft. Today we'll be taking a look at every change, big or small, in this update. I'm recording this video on Minecraft Java Edition, and some of the changes that I'll be showing off are Java exclusives, but for the most part, this video will apply to Java and Bedrock Edition. As an added little bonus for you Java players out there, there is a world download to this world. It's linked down in the description below. So, if you enjoyed this, by leaving a like. If we could pass 3,000 likes, that'd be super awesome. And subscribe if you haven't yet. My new survival series begins Saturday. Buzzy bees, what do we have? Well, as a general overview, we have this stuff inside of this chest here, but there's definitely more changes than just these things behind here. We have 2 different zones. Zone 1 is all the bee changes, Zone 2 is somewhere else, and it has a bunch of other changes. I think in total we'll be going through something like 42 or 43 different things in the bee update. But thing number 1 is, it's the bees. It has to be the bees. So take a look at the brand new Minecraft bee. It's this guy right here. Now the bee's sole purpose in life is to pollinate flowers and just kind of fly around. Bees will spawn in your world in plains biomes, flower forests, and in sunflower plains. These new Minecraft bees can pollinate any type of flower, 1 high or 2 high. Once a bee finds a flower that it wants to pollinate, it'll fly over it for a little while and sort of spin around a little bit, and then eventually its texture will change. Once the texture changes, that means it has done its pollinating work and it'll return to its home. Now, we'll talk about the homes in a minute, so we'll skip over that. A pollinated bee also speeds of crop growth when it flies over it. So
Ik vraag me echt af hoeveel diamonds ik ooit heb gemist in mijn leven dat ik gewoon langs ben gelopen of zo.
That's definitely nice early on, or if you need a lot of crops for some reason. This crop speeding up mechanic will also work with sweet berry bushes. When bees spawn, they'll usually spawn in small groups, and they'll be passive until you hit them. Once you hit the bee though, if there are any friends near the bee that you hit, they'll also become angry and they will sting you. Once you are stung, you get poisoned and you take a little bit of damage. But both of those things will go away eventually. You'll probably survive. But unfortunately, the bee that stung you, that bee's not going to survive. Eventually that bee will die. It's lost a stinger. So yeah, don't hit the bees. There's no point in that. Bees produce honey and honeycombs and can be bred with flowers. This is what the bee spawn egg looks like. The Bane of Arthropods enchantment does work on bees, but you probably won't need that. Bees have 10 total health. Next, we have the bee nest. This is a bee nest right here. These things will generate in sunflower plains, flower forests, and in plains biomes. This is the natural home of the bee. This thing is not craftable. Now, a bee nest can house up to 3 bees at a time. No more than 3 bees can enter this thing. Bees will go to and from this thing to collect pollen. Eventually, the bee nest's appearance will change and it'll look like this, and that means it's ready to be harvested. To harvest a bee nest, you'll either need some shears or some glass bottles. It depends on what you want from the thing. If you want honeycombs, shears. If you want honey bottles, glass bottles. I think we'll go with honey from this one, so we'll use glass bottles. Now, if you don't place a campfire below a bee nest, when you harvest it, all of the bees that are inside of it will become angry. So place a campfire below a bee nest, harvest it, and boom, you're good. The bees don't even care at all. Now, this is a beehive. Beehives are very similar to bee nests, but these things are not natural. You need to craft these things. To craft a beehive, you will need 6 planks and 3 honeycombs. You'll then get 1 beehive. Now, beehives can be broken with your hand and moved around. If you want to move a bee nest, well, you'll need silk touch ropes. Just like the bee nest, only 3 bees can live inside of a beehive at a time. You use shears or glass bottles to harvest these things, and the campfire trick works with these things as well. Next up, the honeycomb. The honeycomb is one of the things that you can harvest from a bee nest or a beehive. These things are used to craft beehives and honeycomb blocks. This is the honeycomb block. It looks really, really nice in my opinion, but that's all it does. It's just for looks. It does not have any special...
Play, create, share, dat zijn de kenmerkende woorden voor de nu al epische game Dreams. April vorig jaar kwam de Early Access
function or anything like that. It does kind of sound cool when you place it though. Now this is the honey bottle. Honey bottles are definitely a lot more useful than honeycombs. Honey bottles are consumable items. They will restore 6 hunger and 2.4 saturation when consumed. They stack in stacks up to 16. Now, you can use honey bottles to either craft honey blocks or craft sugar. To craft a honey block, you'll need 4 honey bottles and a crafting table like that. To craft sugar, place 1 inside of the crafting table and you'll get 3 sugar and an empty glass bottle. If you happen to be poisoned, honey bottles can actually remove that poison, which is kind of cool. The final bee-related item in this update is the honey block, and oh boy, the honey block, that block makes me really happy. It's a really, really cool block. Now again, to craft this thing, you'll need 4 honey bottles. Put them in a crafting table, just like this, and boom, you get 1 honey block. You'll get your glass bottles back. Now honey blocks are kind of similar to slime blocks, but they're also really different. I'm sure you've heard by this point, but they have a lot of interesting properties. It's really, really cool. I have this whole course set up here to show this thing off. So first off, honey blocks reduce jump height to this. That's pretty small. That's like really tiny. Compared to a slime block, you jump normal on these things and you bounce. You don't really bounce on the honey block. You also cannot sprint on the honey block. I'm trying to sprint right now. Doesn't work. It's impossible. Now, honey blocks can move items, blocks, and entities. Take a look at this. So we have a block there, we have an item, and then we have an entity. We press this, and hey, okay. There you go. The villager moves. That's pretty cool. That is not the same for slime blocks. Slime blocks move blocks, but they definitely don't move entities and items. Yeah, that sort of didn't move at all. Now, honey blocks will not stick to slime blocks, so you can use these things for contraptions alongside slime blocks and have things that move separately, which is also really, really cool. Honey blocks do not conduct redstone, so don't use these things to try and transfer signals. It won't work. You can also use honey blocks to move across areas that you usually wouldn't be able to. You can pretty much wall walk with honey blocks. So there's nothing here, there's no tricks, it's just empty. If I move forward, honey blocks out of the block, take on the wall above the lava, and that's the thing. So you can also slide down walls of honey blocks, which is really cool. And if you're going to fall really far, well, try this on honey blocks. Take left there. Now, well, we should try and back out this mod that I've tested out so far. They still move across the honey block. So it's an intended mechanic, but I don't know if it's bugged or not. The cow doesn't seem to mind. So that actually does it for all of the bee-related changes, but that's definitely not it. There are quite a few more changes in this update that you should definitely know about. So we'll go ahead and go over here and use the warp block to get to the rest. And yeah, there's a lot here. But thankfully, a lot of these features are a little more to the point. They're kind of straightforward. So we should be able to move through this bit pretty quickly. Oh, and you should know that some of these features, they're kind of technically bug fixes. This first one is a Java Edition exclusive thing. Minecraft 1.15 introduces 5 brand new game rules. The game rules are do insomnia, do immediate respawn, drowning damage, fall damage, and fire damage. These things can now be turned on and off within a world. The BuzzTV update brings 3 brand new advancements to Minecraft, and unsurprisingly, these are all bee-related advancements. First, we have Sticky Situation. To get this one, you'll have to jump into a honey block, breaking your falls. So that means slide down a honey block wall. The next advancement is Be Our Guest. To get this one, you'll have to safely collect honey from a beehive with the campfire. So remember, put the campfire below the beehive and then use a bottle line. Then last but not least, we have Total Bee Location, which is definitely going to be the hardest one to get out of the 3. To get this one, you'll have to move a bee nest with 3 bees inside of it using a Soak Touch. So yeah, if a bee is inside of a bee nest and you Soak Touch the thing, the bees are still inside of it. So good luck, you have to find a full bee nest and move it. It should be a little challenging, but not too hard. We have some brand new control settings found inside of the accessibility settings part of the menus. Sneaking and sprinting can now be switched between hold mode and toggle mode. No more having to hold down a button if you don't want to. In sneaking's case, you can now sneak and open menus, chests, things like that with this turned on, which is kind of cool. There are some brand new statistics for player grindstone and player anvil interaction counts. These can be found inside of the statistics menu. In the BuzzTV update, bells can now be rung with redstone. Bedrock has had this feature. It is brand new to Java. Campfires can now be extinguished with shovels. Stripped wood is now craftable. To craft this up, you will need stripped logs of whatever variant you're trying to make. Go ahead and throw them in the crafting table, and boom,
What
there
the
you go.
fuck?
Stripped wood is now made. Previously, you
Oh.
would have had to make the unstripped variant of the wood and then strip it out. When placed, rails will now face the same direction as the player. This is a bug that's been in the game for a long time, and it's finally being fixed. Comparators now have a brand new functionality that's tied to bee nests and beehives. Comparators can detect the amount of honey inside of a bee nest or a beehive. The output signal strength correlates to the amount of honey inside of either of these blocks. Dispensers got a bunch of new functionalities in this update as well. Dispensers can now harvest honeycombs from beehives or bee nests if you place shears inside of them and if those blocks are full of honey. Dispensers can now collect honey bottles from beehives or bee nests if you place a glass bottle inside of the dispenser and if those blocks are ready to be harvested. Dispensers can now collect water bottles when placed facing a water source with glass bottles inside of it. The water bottles will be put inside of the dispenser. Dispensers can now place armor stands. Fire charges shot from dispensers will now light campfires. And firework rockets that are shot from a dispenser will now travel in the correct direction. Previously, they would just go up. Scaffolding and boats, they're both more smeltier. Scaffolding will smelt 2 items now, and boats, they'll smelt 6 items. This will be the same in a furnace as it is in the smoker and a blast furnace. Attached stems will now drop seeds again. There was a bug preventing this from happening. Large ferns now have the chance to drop wheat seeds. Tridents look so much better now when placed in item frames in your inventory, and when they're enchanted, they look actually enchanted, which that's huge. That's huge. They'll even look enchanted when they're thrown now, which is so nice. If you're trying to get your iron door back, you'll need to break it with a pickaxe, not your hand. If you break an iron door with your hand, it won't drop anymore. To check out this next one, we'll need to head over into the nether. Wet sponges will now dry out when placed in the nether. This is going to be really useful whenever I start actually working on an ocean monument farm and finish it this time. Certain blocks that don't break farmland, like fence gates, can now be moved over farmland with pistons and not ruin the farmland. This is a really particular thing, but that's the thing. The dark prismarine crafting recipe has been changed in this update. To craft dark prismarine, you will now need a single black dye instead of an ink sac. Endstone bricks got a little bit harder in this update. If you can remember, Endstone bricks would mine really quickly if you mined them with an efficiency 5 pickaxe, or really any pickaxe, and that's not the case anymore. They mine slower. Now, this also means that these blocks will be more resistant to explosions now too, which that's probably a good thing. It makes a little bit more sense when you compare it to normal Endstone. Before this update, there was a bug where spawn eggs would not spawn babies for some reason. That bug has been fixed, and these spawn eggs, when used on an adult version of whatever you're trying to spawn, will spawn babies again. Iron golems now have a visual health indicator. That indicator, well, that's all of these cracks here. If you have a cracked iron golem, that means you need to heal it. You can heal an iron golem with iron ingots. Just use the ingot on the golem, and it will be healed up. This guy's name's Subscribe. I have no clue what that could mean. Foxes and sweet berries will now generate and spawn in all taiga biomes. This now includes the mega taiga. Passive mob spawning has been tweaked slightly in Java 1.15. As of this update, you can find new baby mobs spawning in the wild naturally that you couldn't have before. Now this only applies to mobs that spawn in groups in the wild, and there are 2 separate groups that we have. You now have a 5% chance to find a baby variant of these mobs spawned in the wild, and a 10% chance to find a baby variant of any of these mobs spawned in the wild. The ocelot is in here too somewhere, but I'm not too sure where. I don't know what category it's in. In the Buzzy Bees update, mobs will avoid lava a little bit better. There was a nice change to zombie villagers in this update as well. Zombie villagers that were villagers before can no longer despawn. So that means if a zombie gets to one of your villagers, turns it into a zombie villager, well, it won't naturally despawn. It might burn up in the sunlight, but it won't just randomly disappear. We have 2 changes to parrots this time around. Parrots can no longer imitate endermen, wolves, polar bears, or zombie pigmen. But parrots can now sit on their owner's shoulder while their owner is riding an entity, so like a horse or a boat. Birch trees will now generate in dark oak forests again. There was a bug preventing this from happening. Activating an elytra is now a lot easier. All you need to do is jump, and then you can pretty much activate your elytra right away. That means that actually taking off with rockets is going to be way more easy, and oh boy, I like this change. You no longer have to jump off of a block to actually use rockets. You can just jump and then use a rocket. If you time it right, it'll work perfectly. All foods are now edible in creative mode. This is another thing that Bedrock could do that Java couldn't, and now Java can. Speaking of features that Bedrock has that Java didn't, players can now set their spawn by using a bed in the daytime without sleeping. You'll get a message in chat when your respawn point is set. Players can now also kick sleeping villagers out of beds by using a bed that a villager is in. The composter recipe on Java Edition is now the same as it is on Bedrock Edition. You'll need 7 slabs to craft a composter now, no fences needed. There seems to have been a change to the inventory block models. They look a little bit brighter, don't they? The main menu has a brand new panorama screen, and oh boy, it looks really nice. Lots of bees. MineCraft 1.15 brings a lot of performance improvements and optimizations as well. There have been a lot of improvements when it comes to chunk loading. The game definitely runs a lot more smooth now, which is really nice. And then finally, to wrap up our list of 1.15 changes, bug fixes. And oh boy, there has been a lot of bug fixes this time around. To show off a few, when you exit a boat, you will no longer be put on top of it. You'll be pushed off to the side, so hopefully no more glitchy standing in the boat thing. That was really annoying. Banners now have a breaking texture, so you know what you're actually breaking. This is the first time in, I think, ever. And horses will no longer disappear when you get off of them or teleport back and then re-teleport over to where you are anymore. That's huge. This is so nice. Like, wow. The horse doesn't go away anymore. It's weird. So nice, though. I love this. This is really good. And yeah, there are many more bug fixes. In fact, we actually went over some of them already, like I mentioned at the beginning of this segment, but that's actually just about everything. 1.15. Which feature is your favorite? Do you like the bees the most? Do you like the honey blocks? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this video, help me out by giving a like and subscribing. It seriously helps out so much. I'll leave my 1.15 playlist on the end card. Inside of that playlist, you can find a bunch of 1.15 related content. Remember, the new survival series, that starts Saturday, and I think I've got a tutorial for you guys tomorrow, so keep your eyes out for that. Thank you very much for watching. All of the links are down in the description. If you love what I do, consider becoming a channel member or a patron today. Big shout out to my patron, Jay Glenn, today. Thank you for the support. My name is Waddles. Stay cool, elites. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.
Villages. A now familiar mob that was added into Minecraft way back in beta of 1.9 2011. It wasn't until a whole year after villagers were released into the game that they had the ability to trade. Now here we are, over 7 years later, with the village and pillage updates giving a complete revamp to our favourite friendly traders. So, much to know about villagers and trading. Well, I'm sure you can already tell by the look of this video that this episode is an absolute doozy. In fact, by far, the biggest episode of the series. Yes. So yeah, we kind of have a really special occasion on our hands here. No mob in this game has anywhere near this amount of juicy, fascinating goodness to dissect and project, and hey, that rhymed. So lean back, get comfy, get snacks, get in the zone. Everything you need to know about villages and trading is all here in one comprehensive video. Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin. Villagers are passive mobs, meaning they will of course not attack even if provoked. They have 10 hearts of health and do not drop anything upon death, including experience, nor any food items that they were holding in their inventory at the time. Villagers spawn in villages, where they will choose to permanently stay. These villages will randomly spawn within plains, desert, snowy tundra, taiga, and savanna biomes. Villagers will represent themselves aesthetically in the For example, snow-based villagers wear bluey cyan clothing, whereas villagers found in the savannah can be found wearing red clothing. Being that we can typically see 5 different styles of villagers. However, that's not true. There are actually 7 different clothing style villages. Jungle villages and swamp villages also very much exist, both of course with their own unique clothing styles. Until jungle and swamp villagers possibly one day enter Minecraft, to see a jungle or swamp villager will either one in creative mode in their respective biome with a spawn egg, breed one within the respective biome, curing a zombie villager within the respective biome, or in the very rare case, find a village that overlaps a jungle or swamp biome. Villagers can also be found beneath igloos, trapped behind iron bars inside basements, of which half of igloos conceal beneath their carpet. In the cell next to the villager, a zombie villager can be found, and like all zombie villagers, can be cured with a splash potion of weakness, followed by giving them a golden apple, both of which can actually be found in an igloo's basement. A zombie villager being cured will begin shaking momentarily, emitting a red particle effect as the cure starts to work its magic. Within approximately 2 to 5 minutes, they'll change into a villager, outfitted accordingly to its respective biome. Zombie villagers also spawn with their respective clothing from their biome. There are currently 15 different types of villagers with 13 different types of employed professions up for their grabs. A villager with a profession active offers the ability to trade with players. However, despite being occasionally avoided, trading is actually a great opportunity to make emeralds and not lose them. So when the time does come and you seek an item quickly and wish not to go through the efforts of gathering all the components to make whatever it is you're after, you'll have the flexibility to drop thick stacks of emeralds to swiftly acquire your target item or items, or not to mention rare items of high value that can only be found by very, very few other methods. Villages are quite an opportunity, and the beauty of it all, it's really simple and rather fun, accomplishing and super rewarding.
Oh ja, ik heb geen elite erop.
So,
Lol.
as we're about to dive straight into the world of MineCraft's grand trading system. The trading system is a significantly large and substantial gameplay mechanic, allowing players to buy or sell items to and from villages using emeralds as a form of currency with every trade offer. Only employed adult villagers are able to be traded with and will make unique offers based on their chosen profession. Professions can be obtained by an unemployed adult villager, distinguished by not having any job-related gear equipped. If you try trading with one, they'll just shake their head.
Hello, I'm VVS Toycat, and it's very obvious to anyone who loads up Minecraft after the most recent update that bees have been added to the game. They're even on the menu screen, right? And how exactly do you find bees in your normal survival Minecraft world? And this is something that is trickier than you might assume, because bees are only found in 3 biomes, and in 2 of those biomes they are incredibly rare, which means if you want to find bees and you want to find the bee's nest, you're going to need to go through some steps, especially if you're in an existing world. So today's video is a tutorial on how to find bees in existing and new worlds, and then what you can do with them once you've found them. So let's dive straight into it, shall we? So like I said, it is a bit easier if you're starting a brand new world. We're going to use the seed Bees Please today. It's one I found earlier that has a guaranteed chance of having bees next to spawn. Obviously, if you want to find bees on any seed, though, it should be easy enough, because any new biome of 3 types will spawn with a chance of having bees in there. One is the plains biome, which is the most common of the 3 types. There is the sunflower plains, and there is the flower forest. The flower forest is, again, for reasons we'll mention later, the one you want to go with. However, even if you spawn on a plains, there is a 5% chance for a given tree to have bees, and in this case, as you can see, our closest tree to spawn on this feed, literally this close, 20 blocks away from spawn, has bees in it. And to be precise, if you want to find these bees, because you might wonder, what makes them spawn? Why are they so rare, even in the 3 biomes you just mentioned, Toycat? It's because of the fact that they'll only spawn when these bee nests are around. So again, like I said before, bee nests have a 5% chance of spawning on any given tree in just 3 given biomes. The flower forests, which are quite rare, the sunflower plains, which are very rare, and then also the plains biome, which is incredibly common, however, which has very few trees. So you can see across this entire plains biomes, there are, right here, there are
Beehive, let's go.
one over there, and there's one over here. 2 trees across the entire biome isn't a great chance of finding bees, but it's what you kind of have to deal with if you want to get your bee population started. So, yeah, obviously having 2 bees, you might think, like, well, I kind of want more than 2. I want to get a whole farm going so we can get more stuff going on. I'll teach you how to breed them in a second, but for now, just know that there's 3 biomes. The most common one you'll find on is a plains.
Almost.
The most uncommon one you'll find is the flower forest. However, you have a decent chance, once you get to the flower forest, of actually finding bees there. So yeah, finding new bees is a matter of finding one of those 3 biomes. We'll talk about why the flower forest is the one you want to look for the most, whether it's a new or an old world. But first of all, if you're in an old world, you might think like, oh, there's no chance of me getting bees, or you might be told erroneously, just go to one of these 3 biomes and a bee nest will be added to your existing world. That's not how Minecraft works. Minecraft only adds bees during the world generation phase, which means you need to explore brand new parts of your world you've never explored before. Once you you reach brand new chunks, the new chunk will generate with the new world generation, which includes bee nests, which means you'll be able to find bee nests on the trees, including this one maybe? Okay, over here you can see, here is a bee nest on a tree, because you can find bee nests in existing worlds if they're in new chunks, because your existing chunks will never have bee nests in them unless you move them there, but old chunks can have that just happen. So now we know, just explore new chunks, you'll know when they're new because they'll generate slightly differently, or if you're not sure, about where new chunks are, just try to get as far as you physically can away from, like your old world, get hundreds or thousands of blocks from the furthest away thing you've explored. You'll know when you get far away because weird things start happening, but just again, get as far away as you humanly can. But yeah, the interesting thing is you want to look for flower forests mostly, looking for plain spot's nest, which is useful for getting 1 to 3 bees. There is literally a single, oh no, there's 2 bees here, cute, it's a breeding pair, and there's even another one over there. These are wonderful by themselves, but you want to look for flower forests. What is a flower forest? I mean, I think it's self-explanatory. When you see a lot of flowers, not just a few, because the flowers spawn in every flower forest, when you see like every 4th block on the ground covered in flowers, you'll know you're in the flower forest. And the reason you want to look specifically in these is because, as you can see, there are lots more bees found here. And this isn't because, oh yeah, flower forests have a higher, percentage of, bee spawning. No, it's still the 5% chance for every single tree. But as you can see, because there are so many more trees, because it literally, you'll find, if you want, I can give you guys a seed where you can spawn near a flower forest, if that's something you'd be interested in. But for now, just kind of keep it in mind that if you want to find bees, you find the flower forest. If you want to find the flower forest, follow the bees, I guess. But yeah, the reason that you want to find these biomes is not just because you get more bees, which is nice by itself, but it's also to do with the way you breed bees. Because here's the thing about bees, they won't just go out and look for flowers on the ground so they can pollinate them and so they can get honey back to the nest, which is wonderful, but also flowers work as the breeding material for bees. Give 2 bees some flowers each, so they'll do a weird dance, and a baby bee will come out. This thing is ridiculously adorable. I do have to say though, the size of this miniature bee is still too big for a regular bee in Minecraft. Like, these things are ridiculously sized, right? They're Minecraft's cutest mob, they're adorable, they're ridiculous in every way, and yeah, it does have to be said, if you want to find them, that's a great thing. However, here's the deal, right? Just having bees is great, and walking them back to your house might be a viable solution, but if you have to travel thousands of blocks to find your nearest flower forest, and statistically, some of you, I hate to break this to you, if you have an existing survival world you've explored a lot, you might have to walk thousands of blocks to find your nearest flower forest. You might not want to do this, and picking bees into the nether sounds like a recipe for disaster, so what can you do in this situation? And let me show you exactly that. So when you see bees going inside one of their bee nests, and because bees will always spawn next to a bee nest, this is a thing you'll see happen fairly often. Oh, as you can see, by the way, they brought enough pollen back to the nest to make it a filled one, which won't affect our next step, which we're going to do as soon as we know there are bees in there, because in the time it took us to enchant our tools, obviously bees have left and gone in, so let's wait till they go back. Because just like that, we know there's a bee in that nest 100% now, and now we can use any silk touch tool to break the nest. You can use a pickaxe if you want to. The axe is the technical tool, but why would you have silk touch on an axe? I think that would make you, pretty concerning. But yeah, if you do this, you'll be able to take the bee's nest around with you. It actually shows that, okay, and if you do so, you're also going to offset bees because that's their nest. That's their home, you're taking their job. But yeah, you can now take this bee nest with you, and this makes bees a fairly unique item because it means that you can actually take them around just by putting them in block form. So yeah, taking this bee nest around with you will take whatever bee is inside there. It might be more than one, but we'll assume it's one bee, because now when we put this down, let's say inside our Minecraft base, which in today's example is going to be this hole in the ground, our Minecraft base, we put the bee nest down, what'll actually be able to happen is the bee will be able to leave the nest. That's right, you might not have believed me just there, but there is in fact a bee leaving the nest now, and now we can be trapped inside your base, assuming your base, unlike mine, doesn't have windows, which means you can make bee farms using this technique, because you don't just need to do bees that way, but also, yeah, that's the thing. So the other cool thing you can do with bees, because obviously the bees now going to go back to pollinating the whole thing, is you can also use bees, bee nests to make bee hives. And the way you do this is by shearing the bee's hive once it's full, so that you get some honeycomb. And again, you upset bees when you do that. That's their home, you're messing with their job. But yeah, basically, also when they sting you, they die eventually. So more reasons not to want to do it. But yeah, what you can actually do, interestingly enough to me, is you can take some of the bee honeycomb you just got. You can use a crafting table. You can combine it with wood to make something called the bee hive. These bee hives are exactly the same as bee nests, except you can craft them. So that's by itself, but it means if you want to have a lot of beehive capacity, let's make it in the back, you can have like an entire row filled with beehives, and you can kind of store a lot more bees this way, because a bee's nest only spawns naturally, and there's only so many of them in your world. Again, even that flower forest there only had 5 of them, but you know, if we farm a bee nest long enough, we can make bee hives, which are exactly the same. They have the exact same functions, except because you can make more of them, you can store more bees. Because every bee's nest and bee hives can store between 0 and 3 bees, there is now room for 15 times 3, 45 bees, plus bee 6, I guess. So we can add another 18 to that 45, and now I'm making you do maths in a Minecraft video. Yeah, tricked you, but yeah, as you can see, they die when they sting you, so it's ideal not to let them, if not for your sake, then for theirs. And that's, I guess, like bees in real life, I would say too. Like, pro tip, bees die when they sting you, but on the other hand, bees shouldn't be stinging you, so that'll teach them a come down lesson. But yeah, so there you go, fun fact, bees in Minecraft, they are found in the flower forests, the plains, the sunflower plains biomes. Look for one of these 3 biomes in Minecraft, you'll know the flower forest, it's the only forest covered in flowers. You'll know the plains biome because it's this flat, has this colored grass, and it's the only place where you can find cornflowers, I believe. They have very few trees in them, but they've got a chance of spawning with bee nests. And then also the sunflower plains. You know how you'll spot it? Do you know? You do know, right? You find the sunflowers there. So yeah, also on my channel, I'm gonna be looking for a seed which has a flower forest, super close to spawn. Just so if you want to find a bunch of bees, you can. That will be going up as soon as I do find the seed later today. Make sure that you go and watch that video because an update just came out, and that means a bunch of Toy Cat videos. For better or for worse, expect to see some more things like this in the future. Also, I mean, 15 bananas today. It's not a weird bit, it's just like, I lost a bet. I promised I'd eat 15 bananas when 1.15 came out. 1.15 is out, and therefore I will eat some bananas. It's going to be a whole thing. I'm going to throw up. You can look forward to it if you watch my live stream, which you can see by subscribing with notifications turned on. Thank you very much for watching this video, though. I hope it was informative. And I hope it made you choose to become a subscriber to the channel. Or hopefully to not be unsubscribed because of my terrible puns, if nothing else. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, because I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Too much Minecraft for my own good. I have blocks on my mind at all times. You know, my life revolves around playing this game and building things in this game. It's even gotten to the point where sometimes I dream about it. That's an embarrassing fact that I probably shouldn't have shared, but I've shared it. But that does mean that I have gotten pretty good at it, and that means that I do have some advice to give to players in Minecraft if you want to become just ever so slightly better. So I think it's time for some life hacks. 25 of them, this is number 1. So you want to build a diagonal staircase of blocks. Now generally speaking, the way that we do this is by doing something like that. But that means that every single time you place in the block, you're also losing a block. It's not the most efficient way of doing things. What you can do is you can get yourself a block with a small hitbox, and then you can place blocks actually on the side of that hitbox without having to move anywhere. Now, there is a bit of a fine art to it, but trust me, you do get quicker as you practice it. Life hack number 2. As of Minecraft 1.14, trapdoors are definitely your friend. You should carry them with you everywhere because they allow you to instantly have access to crawling, which allows you to get into places that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to go, like this lovely, dirty, granity hole. You know, I kind of wish that I didn't have my trapdoor on me this time. This is horrible. Life hack number 3. Am I going to do this every single time? I don't know. I didn't plan on doing this every single time. Anyway, this is the 3rd one. According to people who are good at flying with the Elytra, the way to actually stay agile in the air is to activate your firework rockets while you want to do sharp turns. Because if you don't, you kind of float and do some slightly less accurate stuff. So if you have your rocket boosters activated, you can change direction really quickly. This is hurting my brain a little bit. But what if you don't have a literal gazillion firework rockets, alright? Because most people don't. This is life hack number 4. The best way to fly long distances without using loads of rockets is to use what's known as the 40-40 trick. So you want to point yourself down towards 40 degrees and then up towards 40 degrees, and you're kind of flying this up and down pattern, but you will be able to travel amazingly far, really without using too much fuel. Next life hack, please. I hate things like granite, diorite, disgusting, andesite, all the other things that I'm probably forgetting as well. So before I go on mining sessions, I like to get my inventory set up something a little bit like this. Stone, I also don't need too much of that, so there's not too many slots for it. Redstone, obviously, I need tons of, so there's plenty of slots available for that, and this means that when I'm mining, only the good stuff will end up in my inventory. Life hack number 4, which is German, I think. That also means 5. This is actually life hack number 6. Anyway, we all know that scaffolding exists, and it's pretty interesting. It's got some cool building mechanics. I really like the way that you place it, but there are some slight annoyances in the fact that, say for example, we want to expand out over here, those pieces of scaffolding actually land on that daisy down there and get broken. So if I wanted to go out in this direction, I'd have to go all the way down to the bottom, break it, and then come all the way back up to the top. Frustrating. What you should use instead is slime blocks, because slime blocks are the only blocks that are breakable instantly in survival mode. I mean, just look at this. Glorious. Life hack number 7. Another German one. This is a jungle tree, and a rather pathetic one at that. But the best way to mine out a jungle tree is to ender pearl up to the top, and then mine downwards from the top. That way, you don't have to worry about things going missing, and also, it just makes more sense, doesn't it? Look at this, it's so much easier. But we all know that jungle wood looks absolutely disgusting, it's horrendous, nobody wants to use it. So what do I want to do with this garbage? Most people suggest that you have some form of rubbish bin in your base that is made out of lava that you can throw all of the things you don't want into. But what if you accidentally throw in something really precious, like a diamond hoe? Then you've lost it forever, and also you can potentially fall in this, and that can cause you some damage. What I would generally suggest is you just leave the items to despawn. You can have a special place for them, like a rubbish bin, but it means you ruined my clip. As I was saying, you can still have a nice looking rubbish bin. It just means that if you throw in something that you don't want to throw in, you haven't actually lost it forever. Life hack numero 8. I think that's Spanish, I'm not sure. I'm going to stop this now. This is a bit of a geeky redstone one, but if you want to simulate a one-tick pulse, sometimes it can be difficult to fire the lever fast enough. Come on! Oh my goodness! I'm usually really good at this! Come on! There we go, we managed to make it work. A much easier way of doing it is by placing a redstone torch on the side or on top of a redstone block. Then you get one automatically. So you want to transport some zombies. Now the good thing about zombies is that you can give them items to stop them from despawning. And I would suggest giving them something like a helmet so that when it turns to day, you're not going to lose all of your zombies through them burning up. Because yes, I was correct. Zombies that wear caps don't actually burn out in the sunlight. Suddenly had a little bit of a panic then when I realised I haven't actually tested that fact. And another zombie-related life hack is that zombies cannot break doors that are 1 block above the ground. I mean, he's not really trying it right now, but trust me, they can't. Moving swiftly on from that one, a chest is ever so slightly smaller than a full block, and an anvil is ever so slightly smaller than a chest, and an end rod is slightly smaller than an anvil, giving you a player ladder that's made out of actually useful items that could almost give you a secret entrance. Life hack number 13. Before Minecraft 1.13, I would always suggest, when building underwater, to bring torches or fence posts or doors, anything that will allow you to get your breath back without having to go back up to the surface. But in Minecraft 1.13, all of those things get...
Yo, ik heb een kijker. What up fam? Ik ben net terug van een mining avontuur. Ik heb echt heel veel loot nu. Heel veel resources. Oh, oops. Oeh, ik heb geen boom meer bij. Even kijken of dit werkt. Waarom de fuck groeit dit niet? Dat snap ik niet. Het hoort automatisch te zijn. Er is echt van alles, maar het groeit gewoon niet. thumbnail halen. Ik moet echt een paar dingen hier gaan fixen. Dit. Het moet allemaal even onder de dirt komen te liggen. Hey, wandering trader. Wat heeft hij voor mij? Helemaal niets. Bitch. Oef. Ik snap echt niet waarom die dinges niet groeit, man, die sugarcane. Echt irritant. Ik ga zo even googlen snel. Drop zijn comment. Een naam of iets. Oh fuck. Wow, skill parkour. Kijk. Hij hoort dus wel gewoon te werken. What the fuck? Een zombie village hoorde ik. Kijk, waarom dit niet groeit, snap ik niet. Misschien omdat het dak te laag zit. Oké, dan halen we het wel weg. Ik ga het even tijdelijk zo laten. Kijken of dat helpt. Hier gaan we echt een gang maken vol met alleen maar automatische farms van alles. Ik ben even aan het kijken, aan het nadenken. Requirements to grow sugarcane. Oké, even kijken. De wiki. Sugarcane can generate naturally up to 4 blocks tall, but short plants grow only to a height of 3 blocks. Any block of height when the top sugarcane block has achieved 60 block text. But the actual rate can vary widely. By repetition, bone meal can be used to grow sugarcane. The count is reset if the block occupies space before sugarcane. Sugarcane must be planted on the grass block. Dirt goes blah blah blah. Not merely or above or diagonal or on top of one of those. The adjacent. .
hey, you two! Basically a 3 by 8. I'm gonna put another row in the back here, like that. And then we're gonna put our dirt in the front of that. That's where everything is going to grow. Now we need our water source, so I'm gonna go ahead. There we go. Another shift clicking when you do this. We don't want to accidentally open up our hopper. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have this one come off to the side here, like this. We have one thing.
Wacht even kijken. Heb ik gewoon, oh ik dacht even dat geen toort zat. Dat zal echt oké zijn. Oké, eens kijken. Dit is even kijken. 1, 2, 3, 4 diep. Oh. Even kijken wat ik nodig heb. 2 observers. Oh, kut, zo moet binnenkort een netherman, denk ik. Oh, dat zou na zijn. Oh, ik heb gewoon cobblestone nodig.
come along the backside here, and we're gonna run redstone along the entire front, or along the entire back. So what that's gonna do is when the piston, or when the observers detect it, it will send a signal down to the entire system, and it will push everything out. I've already set the tick count up to 500, so we're gonna go ahead and watch this thing work here in just a moment. We're gonna go ahead and grab ourselves a hoe. So we're gonna go ahead and hole this out real quick like that, and then we're gonna plant our seeds in front of the observers.
Ik moet die 4 bijmaken. 4 extra hoppers. Ik heb niet genoeg iron. Oef. Yo. Had ik ook wel nodig. Nee, ik moet even iets aan MineCraft doen. Ging iets zoeken. Oh ja, iron en... even kijken, even kijken. Ja, kut, zo, ik moet naar de end. Of naar de nether. Ja, omdat ik dat ding moet halen. Even nadenken. Kut. Oeps. Ik moet echt poepen man, maar ik heb eigenlijk helemaal geen zin. Ik zeg. Ik heb dat zo vaak hè, naar de wc gaan, dat is ook echt nooit zin. Zoals ik moet zo nodig. Ja, ik weet niet, ik vind dat kut. Moet ik helemaal naar beneden, allemaal lopen, dat. Nee. Ja. Ja, ook had ik die boven gezegd, zal het nog te lui zijn. Je moet zo met je op billen zo op koude bril gaan zetten, weet je wat dat is? In winter. Dat lijkt me echt kut. Snap je? Je wil gewoon even snel wat, gewoon 1 snoepje of zo pakken. Je moet in totaal werk voor 4 trappen lopen. Ja, maar je moet ook nog omhoog. Even nadenken.
There we go. Now it's going to be a little bit noisy because it's the plant.
Oké, waar is mijn ho? Eens kijken of dit werkt.
Hello everyone, Stanley here and welcome back to another Bedrock Edition tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to build a zero-tick sugarcane farm for your Bedrock Edition worlds. This farm is extremely simple and easy to build. It's also rather cheap, and of course, being a zero-tick sugarcane farm, it's also extremely efficient as well. The farm I'll show you how to build in today's video produces about 23,500 sugarcane per hour using just a couple dozen plants. So as you can see, that is a lot of sugarcane very, very quickly. One of the nicest features of the zero-tick sugarcane farm design is that even when the farm is off and it's not zero-ticking the sugarcane, it'll still harvest any sugarcane that naturally grows. So even if this zero-tick design does break sometime in the future, you don't need to tear it down because it also acts as just a normal sugarcane farm, automatically harvesting and collecting the sugarcane as it grows naturally. So let's go ahead and take a look at how exactly this zero-tick sugarcane farm
Nee, die
works.
werkt
It's
niet.
actually a pretty big...
Bij mij op een of andere manier. Hij groeit gewoon niet, die kutplanten. Of ja. Nee. Ja, ik weet met die vliegtuigcrash. Heb je die gehaald? Oh. Dat is heel ziek. Ik kan ook samen spelen. Ik ben al van die mensen tegengekomen. Het is een koude. Ik zeg, die zijn echt koude. Ja, zoiets. Wat heb ik nodig? Wat heb ik nodig? How to grow melons. Ja, hij groeit. Ja, lekker, dat wil ik zien. Mijn plantjes. Hier wil ik even kijken. Wat bedoel je? Yo, ik heb nog een kijker. Nou, valt ook wel mee. De ene kant is best wel logisch, hè. Dat is brandbaar volgens mij. Oh, ik heb chores fruit, zie ik. Oh lol, dacht ik eentje eten. Wat? Die chores fruit moet je laten teleporteren, maar dat doet hij niet. Misschien dat ik binnen ben. Oh, lol, ik dacht al. Oef. Fuck, op een dag ga ik echt dood gewoon. Hoe ik vlieg. Ja, ik zie het is kapot veel damage. Kijk, hij groeit. Lekker. Oh ja, ik wou dingen pakken. Lanterns. Maar ik ben niet tevreden over die achtergrond daar. Misschien donkergroen. Even kijken. 2 bij 8. 2 keer 5 is 10. We hebben 10 wol nodig. 10 wol. Zo. Wacht, 10 wol. Wat? Oh, gaat het? Ik zeg mijn Osso en dinges is het meest gevoeligste plek. Hè. Ik zeg al gaat hier één ding kapot, gaat zoveel tijd kosten om te repareren. Even een zieke tune opgooien. Oh ja, hier zitten mijn allereerste tools in die ik heb gebruikt. Oh, dat is wel best wel ziek. Oh, deze kast heb ik niet verwijderd. Ik zweer, die staat hier echt al vanaf het begin. Ja. Weet je niet. Bernie, hij is ook OG. Dat is een fonteintje. Oh, ik heb dieren. Lol. Oeh, ik kan nog iets gaan enchanten, daar heb ik wel zin in. Ik heb een nieuwe axe nodig. Hoezo? Een cave. Hop, hop. Ik ga eens even iets enchanten. Ik heb hier ook nog veel resources in zitten, hè. Tweedehands. Eerlijk, ja, tweedehands. Nee! 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 Oh, creepers, jongen. Oh. Creeper, jongen. Kut zo, moet je weer... Huh? Nee, tuurlijk niet. Ik hoor die hoer gewoon niet. Nou, ja, weet je het is? Ik vind die forest best wel een ziek concept. Maar hoe ze dat hebben uitgewerkt vind ik best wel shit. Yo. What the fuck? Oh. Oké. Oh. Ja, kut zo man, kut creeper. Bruh, ik heb een bel en wat krijg ik daarop? Smite 3. What the fuck heb ik daaraan? Oh, waardeloos. Maar fuck it. Ja, echt een fucking kut enchantment. Ik ben lang niet meer boven geweest hier. Oh, dat is wel een zieke area hoor. Hier ben ik ook best wel proud of. Oh ja, deze toren heb ik nog veel eigenlijk. Met die dingen. Heb ik iets nodig? Oh ja, ik ging groene wol halen. Tien stuks. Ik zei jongen, creepers zijn echt grootste hoerenzoon in dit spel. Ja, ik krijg er zoveel stress van. Tjus, mijn inventory zit echt vol. niet. Of bij ons. Oh, ik denk al. Oh, ik heb geen endstone. Oh, ik heb serieus geen endstone, what the fuck? Oh ja, even deze waardeloze bel geven aan een van die NPC's. What the fuck? Doet die? Muziek fidget spinner. Ik heb hier niets uit Noorden. Oh. Oh, even daar. Ik heb boeken. Ik kijk zo even naar de reacties als je me even een moment geeft. Nee, ik heb 1 keer donatie gehad gewoon. Gewoon euro. Ja, alsnog. Oh, met wie ben ik gewoon? Ik ben met Camel. Spauw. Hey, Camel, ga eens naar jouw party-instellingen en dan bij audio en moet je die doen op toestaan. Dan kunnen mensen jou horen. Nee, ik weet niet. Iets met audio en dan moet je audio toestaan. Nou.
Ja, horen ze nu mij? Hallo?
Ja, als het goed is wel.
Nee, ik had het uitstaan blijkbaar.
Ja, dat staat standaard uit.
Kom! Wow. En ik moet mijn spel weer opnieuw gaan starten, heel fijn dit.
Hoezo moet je die het opnieuw opstarten?
Ik ben gevallen, maar ik kom niet meer naar boven.
Bruh.
Kijk, wat zeg tegen een boze Spanjaard?
Werk veel.
Ontspan je.
Dat is ergens een tattengrap, hè. En ik heb dinges nodig. Lanterns. Dat ben ik helemaal vergeten. Kut zo.
Oké. Vliegtuig crash, niemand boeit dat.
Mijn inventory zit zo vol met bullshit, hè.
Volgens mij is het elke keer een andere plek waar die vliegtuigstuk crasht. Volgens mij ben ik nu bij een andere plek.
Ik zou het niet weten.
Beter van, ook al is het niet te redden op dezelfde plek spannen. Ik kan nu weer doodgaan. Better is collected.
Hey, mijn suikercanes groeien. Toppie.
Wat de fuck kan ik met dit doen? Oh, energy mix. What the fuck? Ja! En dat zijn niet die verpots, hè?
Hey
Salla.
Rens, gaan jullie vandaag ook basic? Ja toch?
Shoe man, gym en zo. Kast toe.
Ik ga echt al heel lang gym. Echt al een jaar of zo.
Bro, heb je überhaupt gym al nodig? Volgens mij heb je echt gewoon geen gym nodig.
Nee, ik sport sowieso 6 keer per week hè.
Hoezo?
Gewoon met voetbal en zo.
Sport, hoe de fuck sport jij 6 keer per week?
Nou, gewoon dat het leuk is. Ja, leg day. Oeh, leg day, luister. Leg day, kom maar, daar wil ik joinen. Ik ben spit hè. Ik heb deze week, omdat het vakantie was, hadden wij geen training hè. Dat heb ik dan gemist, mijn benen een beetje verzuren en zo.
Want als jij je benen breekt. Stel je voor je breekt je benen terwijl je benen aan het werken bent.
Hoe wil je die breken?
Dat kan hè? Als jij weet gewoon met die gewichten duwen.
Ja, ik weet wat ik heb bedoeld.
Als je dan jouw benen rekt, dan kan je jouw benen dubbel klappen.
Ja, maar dat is dan breekt je been, dan gaat gewoon jouw knieschijf de tering in. En jouw banden die daarmee verbonden zijn. Ik heb zand nodig man, fuck zo.
Hoe laat ga jij bezig?
Ik weet niet. Jullie gaan gewoon laten gaan.
Ik ga denk ik morgen ook overmorgen naar de gym halen.
Ga je ook gewoon bezig?
Ja man.
Mm.
Ja. Ik heb geen lader, ben jij domme herrie hoor.
Maar is mijn papa nog niet laden?
Ga met domme Turk, ik heb toch geen lader?
Moet ik dan even wachten?
Ik wacht gewoon tot de mama klaar is, dommer. Ik ga mijn neefje even bellen en vragen of hij ook voor ons komt.
Doe maar. Ja, val je hem gelijk voor party.
Ja, als hij nou komt, als hij aan. Zomaar bel ik jou. Ah, de fuck is jouw profielfoto bij WhatsApp dan?
Gewoon. Dat was de bedoeling. Die foto. Oeh, vind ik die mooi? Nee, eigenlijk niet ja.
Nee, niet opnemen, hè? Wanneer ik naar Eindhoven kom, is een vuist op je hoofd.
Nee, dit vind ik niet mooi.
Wolla, die dachten wij gingen voetballen. Wolla was een rellen.
Dat was al grappig.
Dat was die handhaving, de tanden.
Maar niet serieus. Alsnog. Die guy was, kijk zeg maar, je weet wel, die twee die uit die auto kwamen waren gewoon chill. Maar die guy, die fiets was echt dan. Allemaal autistisch.
Hij was dan wel uit de latpost, hij deed de hele tijd
ja.
zeggen. Ja, jullie mogen niet met, ja, prullenbak. Oh, fuck je prullenbak, ouwe. Je weet dat boeit ons.
Of niet? Kut zo, ik neem grey glass mee. Ik ben echt apart geval.
Autist.
Oh. Oh, wordt gebeld. Ja, wordt gebeld door mijn moeder. Even terugbellen.
Adeline, waar ben jij? Wat ben je aan het doen? Jij weer streamen. Ah, mijn naak. Bro, ik wil vis van me.
ga zo even naar de winkel. En ik heb inktvis shit nodig. Maar ik weet niet meer wat ik daar gelaten heb. Oeps.
Oh, daar heb ik rook voor nodig.
Wat doet deze guy hier? Maat. Maat, what the fuck? Waar is je gang dan? Hoe moet je? Wat? Mijn dinges wordt geriet! Mijn dinges wordt geriet! Nee, daar komen ze zijn ze ook bij mijn villages gekomen. Oh, dat zou een foute boel zijn. Hele foute boel.
Door wie zijn het gereed?
Ja, ze zijn van die enemies, die komen soms gewoon langs.
Oh ja, die raiders of wat?
Ja, pillagers.
Oh ja. Ja. Pillager. What the fuck is dat voor naam? Hoe kom je op een naam fucking pillagers? Dan ben je toch gewoon een autist?
Ja, villagers, pillagers. Dat is wel logisch. Hé, maar ik ga afleiden, man. Ik ga van de winkel.
Kom je daar nog
Charles. Ja.